Thank you all for being here. Whether you have been personally affected or someone you know has been affected, or you're just here to learn a little bit, as I am as well, we appreciate you for taking time out of your evening to be here and show your support. Thank you to Matt for being here and sharing your story. Especially thank you to Mr. Maselli, and we are so sorry for your loss. Several months ago, Sergeant Groh came up to me and he said, I have an idea. What do you think about opening up your school to the community and bringing everybody in and talking a little bit about heroin in the community? And I said, heroin in our community? What are you talking about? There's no heroin in Glenbard South. There's no heroin in Glenbard. I'm not following you here. And it doesn't happen here. And I can tell you for a fact it does happen here. And not only can I tell you at Glenbard South it's happening, I think these people have proven that it is in our community, and it is something we need to be aware of. As I prepared for tonight, I put on my dad cap. I've got younger kids, but I put on my dad cap and I said, my kids are going to go to Wheaton schools, or they're in Wheaton schools. They're going to be in high school soon, and I said, what is Wheaton going to do? What is Wheaton doing to combat this stuff? And so I put my dad cap on. I said, what is Glenbard doing to combat this in our schools? How are they helping our kids? I can give you some of the clubs and I can give you some of the things that we are doing, but I'm telling you, it's a scary thing that we talk about daily. We do random drug searches, random locker searches. We bring the dogs into the building, and we just did a dog search last week. We brought in 3 different dogs. They search for bombs. They search for drugs. We have a reciprocal reporting agreement, which is wonderful, with the DuPage County Sheriff's Office. And what that means is that anything that happens in our community, they share with us. Anything that happens in our building, we share with them. We have a DuPage County Sheriff's Officer that works in our building named Deputy Hood. She's not a school security officer. She is a DuPage County Sheriff. We have school counselors that are available that listen to kids. It's part of our health curriculum to inform kids about drug awareness. We have a code of conduct that we hold our athletes to. And I know that is separate than our general student body, but with over half of our students involved in athletics, we think that that's very, very important to target that group. We also know by having this kind of program in our athletic department, it does discourage kids from going to parties in that athletic season because it holds them to a higher level. We have a Glen Ellen Youth Council that promotes safe events. We have a safe post-prom events that is happening in all 4 of our buildings. We've now had for 5 years now an insomnia event that happens at Glenbard South that has been put together by actually former Glenbard parents. And a special thank you to Ann Bouchard and Cindy Christensen for putting that program together. And that is, again, a partnership, so when kids leave prom, we're promoting that healthy choice as they leave that event. We partner with local mental health institutes to provide services for our kids, so they share information with us and we share information with them so that our kids get better service and better care. We've got this wonderful thing that's called the Glenbard Parent Series. I'm sure most of you have been to some of the events. And that's funded by some of the Goodman Foundation. And that partners with our Students for Students groups. And they bring us the ability to give healthy choice alternatives to our kids. And it promotes that healthy choice. It also helped funded some of our Live Life Well Week speakers, including recently we had Chris Herron. I don't know if you recognize that name. He's a former Boston Celtic, and he is as well now a recovering heroin addict. We have this amazing group called Natural Helpers. These are students that are selected by our school staff that are just naturally gifted at helping kids. And these are kids that are a little bit sneaky. They're in the hallway, and they're not there to be informants, but they're in the hallway to help kids through difficult situations. And they have that wonderful relationship with not only students, but staff to be able to report back that there might be a student in crisis. And obviously, we're doing these kind of events. In addition to this event, way in the back, we are streaming this event. And I find that to be very important because although we have a rather light crowd here tonight, it is our hope that when you leave here, if nothing more, you sit back in your chair and you say, I got to let somebody know about what's going on. I've got to inform people in our community. I got to talk to my next door neighbor when we're barbecuing and I see him outside, that people need to pay attention to what's going on in our communities. Again, I want to thank you all for being here. This is our first attempt at doing this in our Glenbard communities, and I really appreciate you coming out tonight. I would last like to introduce Chief of Police Phil Norton to come up here with some closing remarks. Thank you.